Hello, this is Seungyeol from APJ Digital Labs. In this video, I will show you how to create custom widget using third-party chart library on the SAP Analytics Cloud. The reason why I made this video is that I saw many people was wondering how to implement third-party chart on the SAC. So I thought it would be cool if I share how to do it so you can build your own custom chart on your SAC. Okay, this is what we are going to make. This is a gauge from Google Chart Library, and you will be able to dynamically control the value and the title of the gauge. Just like this. And you can change the label. So, for example, like hello, see, it got changed. Let's talk about the architecture of the files. The custom widget consists of 4 different files. The first one is in JSON format, which contains all the information of the custom widget, such as their name, icon location, the URL of other JavaScript files, properties, and custom functions of the custom widget. The second file is the main file. The main file is the custom widget itself. And other file is a builder file and the style file. Then the builder and styling file is optional. So in this video, we're gonna talk about only the main file and the JSON file. Okay, let's download some sample files from my Git repository. Once you get into my Git repository, you can copy the URL of the project and make any file. Make any folder. And git clone the project. Once you got everything, go to the folder and install npm install all the dependencies. Once you install all the dependency, now we are ready to start making our own custom widget. So let's see the file architecture again. It seems like we can upload our JSON file to the SAP Analytics Cloud like directly, and then from there SAP Analytics Cloud will request our JS file from the external server. So what we are going to do is we're going to open our own server on our local PC. To do that, I really recommend you to use the Visual Studio Code. Once you install Visual Studio Code, you can start your Visual Studio Code by typing down code and space and dot. Once we start our Visual Studio Code, we can open our own terminal by pressing Ctrl and the grave accent. And here we can see what's in here. So we have server.js, which is Express. It's like a simple server. You can start your own server on your PC by typing node and server.js. Then you can start your own server on port 3000. So for example, you can go to localhost 3000 and you can see the server is working. So now we have to expose our server to the public network. So we have to open another terminal by clicking this plus button, and from here you have to enter ngrok and http 3000. Then it will create the tunnel between our local host and the external IP address. So once you go to this URL, you can get access to our internal server. See? Once our server is running, we can create our own custom widget. Go to public, and in the Google folder, there are JSON file and the JavaScript file and the Google gauge, the icon file. So in the JSON, we have to enter all the information regarding the custom widget. So ID, version, name, description can be anything, but I think we have to follow this kind of format. And from here, we can enter the URL of our icon. So our icon is located on the our icon is, let's see, we can find our icon on this domain and dash static dash Google gauge.png. You can see our icon is here. So we have to copy and paste. Oops. We have to copy and paste the location of our Google PNG file, the icon file. So just like this, we have to update our location of our JS file. So here, if you go to here, you can see our JavaScript file. Okay. And so these web components, we have to enter the information about the main file. So the kind has to be the main, the tag. This is important, but I can explain it later. So tag, you can use your own tag name and URL, and these two has to be the same, just like this. Okay. And the properties is like a variable, and so these are what we are going to use in our web components. So for the label, we're gonna use type string, and default is label, and the value gonna be integer, and the default gonna be 10. Okay, method is like the function that we are going to use. So if you see the SAC that I create before, in the custom coding area, I use the set value function and also get value function, and these functions are coming from our methods. Okay, and the properties, you see our default value is 10, so the value of the gauge will be starting from the 10. So these two, the label and the value, oh, by the way, the label is this one, so you start from the label. Okay, so these are kind of variable that we use in the custom widget, and these functions are what we are going to use when we are building the custom widget. Okay, and in the methods, let's see the set value function. So so for the parameters for the methods, we have one parameter, name is new value. So whatever I put in the parameter, it will set the value to the new value. So this value will be changed to new value. Okay, and get value will be return this dot value, and this dot value is this one. Let's move to our main file, which is googlegauge.js. In googlegauge.js, we have to implement the custom widget, the body part, which is this one. And before we start, you have to find the CDN link of the library. So for example, you can search Google Gauge Chart CDN, then you will find any examples, and in here you can find the CDN link. So if you go to your CDN link, you can get JavaScript file from their link. What you have to do is you can copy all of the code and paste into our main gauge.js file. So this is what I wrote. It's really long code, but you can compress it by clicking this button. This is why I recommend you to use the VS Code. So anyway, so you can like copy and paste all the code here, and then you can just reduce it, just clicking this button here. Okay, so after that we're gonna write down the body parts of the custom widget, and this is the HTML element for our custom widget. It's just simple div with ID chart dash div, and after that we have to make the class of the web component. If you are not familiar with the web component, I recommend you to read the articles about the web component. And anyway, so constructor will be executed once our web components got loaded, and they create the shadow root, and they copy the contents of the template into the shadow root, and we have to initialize our properties. And these two functions are really important. One is custom widget before update. So this will be happening before our custom widget get updated. So when does our custom widget get updated? That's whenever our properties got changed. Okay, so if our properties got changed, then this function will be executed. Not only this function, but this function too. But this function will be executed first. Okay, so this line of code will update our props, and they will contain all the changed property inside. So whenever our properties got changed, we have to redraw our chart. So these are the chart drawing function. You can get it from like examples. See here. In here we have to define the label and the value. So label is here, props.label. This will be the updated label, and props.value will be our updated value. And these are our CSS related properties for the chart, like how big is the chart and what color, red from, red, yellow from. This is for this one, yellow from, red from. So we can customize it later, not in this video but in another video. So that's it. And finally, we have to define the name of this web component. This has to be exactly same with this one right here, tag. So tag is com SAP sample Google. So our custom element has to be com SAP sample Google. Okay. Okay, then let's upload our JSON file and see whether it's working or not. Go to on the tab, go to Custom Widget and click this one plus button, and you have to upload your JSON format file. Once you upload it, you will see your icon is available and you can see it from here. And then you have to create analytic application. From here, you have to put your custom widget and put it here right like this. And let's add our text input, and let's edit the input field. Okay, and then let's add 2 buttons. And change the name, add buttons, and like this, and this is minus button, and you have to make one variable called gauge value. And type has to be integer because it's a gauge value. Done. Save it. Okay, now we have to fix some code. On initialization, we have to set our gauge value to the real, it's not gauge value, has to be yes. Okay, so whenever it initializes the variable in here, it will be updated to the gauge value. Okay, so save it. And let's move to our add buttons. Oops. Let's go to minus button, and whenever we click it, we're gonna -5 from our existing gauge value. What is wrong? Let's see. Not defined. It's right here. Gauge value. Oh, I got a typo. Gauge value. Oops, what is going on? Okay. So whenever we click it, we're gonna -5 from our existing gauge value, and we're gonna print gauge value, change it, and we're gonna set value to our changed value. Okay, and whenever we click the add buttons, we're gonna add 5 to our existing gauge value. Okay, and then we're gonna print our gauge value and set the value as a gauge value. And for the input field, we're gonna get value from our input field, and then we're gonna set level as a get value. Okay, so we're gonna set label as what we got from input field. Okay, I think that's it. Let's see whether this is running. Okay, we'll change it. Okay, it's working, and this is working. Thank you for watching this video. I know I'm not a professional SAC developers, but I hope you understand a lot from this video. And again, thank you for watching.